All right, this is Brother Aisha Yar coming at you with another lesson. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, which I learned is true from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing this word to the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Aquath that's listening and learning. Today, I want to get into a topic talking about the famous quote from Abraham Lincoln, pretty much stating that he always wanted white superiority. All right. And the reason why I'm doing this lesson is because I was watching the Elder Malcolm's video, which is right here on the screen. I'm gonna let you hear what he had to say as far as that this topic goes and everything like that. And watch this whole video. You get a chance to, Yahweh Ratazah. I'll put the link in the description because it's a very edifying video. But he pretty much put it out there. He's like, hey, if anybody want to find a quote for when Abraham Lincoln said these things, he was like, hey, he put the challenge out there, to edify the flock, edify the people that's listening, so you all can see exactly what type of country and what type of place that we're living in, man, and that we continue to live in. Of course, back then people, say that racism or whatever was, more in front of your face and everything was more pushed out there and everything was definitely more separated than what it is right now. But at the end of the day, man, it never left. It never left. And everybody knows that, man. People don't want to talk about it, but everybody knows that. Everybody knows that racism had never left, and pretty much, man, that's why a lot of these Edomites out here are getting upset that Joe Biden is in office, because Trump was giving them that proud spirit back, man. He really was. As soon as he got into office, he targeted Issachar, which is our so-called Mexicans, immediately, man. And and Trump is pretty straightforward, man. And that's what these Edomites want, man. They want somebody who's going to push their agenda, and they want somebody who's going to push and uplift their wicked spirits, man. But I'm gonna let you hear the elders say it or whatever, so you can see where I got it from. And then I'm gonna go to the website that I found with him quoting these things, and then I'm gonna show you this other picture too. All right, so let's go ahead and play the video.
Continuing on, it says, exclusion by those at the table doesn't depend on willful intent. We don't have to intend to exclude for the results of our actions to be the exclusion. All right? While implicit bias is always a play because all the humans have bias. Iniquity can occur simply through homogeneity. So let's look at that word up, because I'm not 100% sure what it means. So let's look it up real quick. Salakia, I meant to have that on deck already. I'm pretty sure it means one race. Yeah, homogeneity definition. Homogeneity, the quality of state of being all the same or all the same kind. So this is so deeply rooted in American politics is homogeneity, which is what? To keep it white. Even President Lincoln had a famous quotation that he said about that he always want the white male to be at the advantage here in America. You can look it up for yourselves. As a matter of fact, I challenge or any of you brothers and teachers out there to go, maybe do a lesson on that. Point out, go and find that quote that I'm speaking of, and and do a response. Edify the body.
So pretty much, I was like, why not? Because this is the world that we live in, man. This is our reality, because Esau, which is a so-called white man, he is ruling over us, and he never is afraid to expose who he is, man. Of course, he wants to be that sheep, and he wants to be that wolf in sheep's clothing. He wants to be the so-called good guy, smile in your face and do all these other things, man. But their true spirit comes out all the time, man, all the time. They can't hide it. They can't hide it, man, because their pride has gotten the best of them, man. So let me go to the website. Here's the website where I found it from. All right. It said that Abraham Lincoln expressed opposition to racial equality. All right. And it's funny because it's the first thing that popped up when I Googled it was the bullshit ass fact check website, which a lot of people believe in. But this time they didn't fact check, was like, no, he actually said these words. So let's scroll down, man. See, it says true. All right. So I'm gonna read this part. Let me turn it this way for you. And it says, in the aftermath of violence at a white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia in August 2017, and in the context of a wider debate over the removal of Confederate statues, a particular quote spread on Facebook and Twitter appearing to indicate Abraham Lincoln's opposition to racial equality. On 14 August, the remarks formed part of a Dallas Morning News column by former Texas State Senator Jerry Patterson, who wrote, during his famous debates with Senator Stephen Douglas, Lincoln explained to the crowd, I am not, nor have ever been, Salakia, in favor of bringing about in any way the social and political equality of the white and black races. I am not, nor ever have been, in favor of making voters or jurors of Negroes, nor of qualifying them to hold office, nor to intermarry with white people. And I will say in addition to this that there is a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races from living together on terms of social and political equality. And that's true. And then as much as they cannot so live, Salakia, while they do remain together, there must be a position of superior and inferior, and I, as much as any other man, am in favor of having a superior position assigned to the white race. Then it says, Lincoln was no different than most white males, North and South at the time. He was a white supremacist, all right? And this is plain to the point, man. You don't have to read this and keep reading over and over again to find some type of loophole, find some type of error or mistake. This is the exact words that came out of his mouth, man. All right. Like the brother said in the video, man, Abraham Lincoln wanted the white race to be the superior at all time, man. He wanted them to be on top. He didn't want anybody, especially the Negroes, to be with them, man. He didn't even want to work with us. And now you have a lot of, you jakes out there, man, this year with the whole Juneteenth thing and everything like that over here, pretty much praising Abraham Lincoln because, oh man, he helped free the slaves and everything like that. But we just read right here that he didn't care about you at all, man. He didn't care about any of you Negroes out there, man. He didn't care about any of you Israelites for that matter, but especially you Negroes, man. He didn't care about y'all, man. He wanted the white race to be superior. He wanted them to be in rulership, to have all the power, man. He didn't want you all to have no taste of it. No taste of it, man. And then I got this picture right here. Because, this is the Mount Rushmore, right? And I did a lesson on this a while ago, but these are your presidents, man. As you see, it goes in order. It says raped child slaves, George Washington. All right. And it says dentures made of slave teeth. Largest mass hanging, 38 Dakotas. The only good Indian is a dead Indian. These are your forefathers. These are your leaders. These are the people that they put up for everybody to see that represents what America is today, man. All right. These are your so-called leaders, man. And, and people don't have a problem with this being put up, man. Earlier this year, the Indians, the so-called Indians, I should say, Gad and Reuben, they were out protesting and everything saying, man, let's finally tear this Mount Rushmore down. Because Gad and Reuben, they pretty much almost got into the mix of the BLM movement and everything like that, because they were seeing what what Judah was going through. And they was just like, man, we might as well speak our piece too. And they was out in the streets for a while, man. But to get back to the point though, Let's read that quote one more time, man. Let's read it one more time. It says, during his famous debates with Senator Stephen Douglas, Lincoln explained to the crowd, I am not, nor ever have been, in favor of bringing about in any way the social and political equality of the white and black races. I am not, nor ever have been, in favor of making voters or jurors of Negroes, nor of qualifying them to hold office, nor to intermarry with white people. He didn't even want the so-called black woman to be with him, man. He didn't want their women to be with us. All right. He didn't want none of us to gain an education, pretty much, because you got to have some type of education to become a juror or a voter. He didn't want us to know what was going on, man. Because if you was able to vote, that means you were able to understand somebody else's point of view and everything like that, man. But Abraham Lincoln wanted you to stay at the exact bottom, man. All right. It says, nor of qualifying them to hold office, nor to intermarry with white people. And I would say in addition to this, that there is a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races from living together on terms of social and political equality. And that's true too. That's in the scriptures. That's in the scriptures. There is a physical difference between us, man. And I'm going to get that. And it says, and inasmuch as they cannot so live, while they do remain together, there must be a position of superior and inferior. And as much as any other man am in favor of having a superior position assigned to the white race, man. So this is what everybody wanted all along, as far as these super proud Edomites, man. These Edomites that's in office, these Edomites that's in power, the ones who's pulling all the strings, the elites especially. But then you got the other Edomites that's below them, that's in a high position as well, man. This is what they want, man. They want to stay on top forever. That's why the scriptures say, man, they're trying to be like the Most High, and that's why they're getting ready to implement this RFID chip on everybody, because they want complete control, especially over you Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right. Like it says, Lincoln was no different than most white males, North and South at the time. He was a white supremacist, man. That's exactly what he was. And this is exactly what's going on today, man. This is exactly what's going on today. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Like the scriptures say, there is nothing new under the sun. Just because you walk down the street and you were able to say hi to Jimmy or John or whatever, and you give them a high five, or you able to FaceTime them, and y'all getting drunk or whatever at Buffalo Wild Wings and all these other things, man, that does not mean that they are not the enemy, man. These Edomites, man, they got a lot to pay for, man. A lot to pay for. And yes, like it says in Isaiah 14, the children have to pay for this, man, because you are your forefathers, man. Point blank, period. You are your forefathers. So this is Genesis 25 and 21. And it says, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. So yeah, Abraham Lincoln was right, man. We can't live with each other, man. We couldn't even deal with each other in the womb. We couldn't even deal with each other in the womb, man. All right. And then verse 23, and it says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So that's another point that Abraham Lincoln brought out in that quote. He was like, there's a physical difference between the 2 races. Yeah, that's a physical difference. The one people shall be stronger than the other people, meaning Jacob, he's going to be stronger than Esau, man, meaning the Israelites are going to be stronger than the Edomites. And that's been very well proven and everything, man. Just look at sports. You could just start with that, man. You look at football, look at basketball, boxing, UFC, anything that's physical, man. Jake goes in there and dominates, man. He dominates. All right. I remember one of the brothers from Mississippi. I forget what his name is, from the Mississippi camp. He was like, man, it goes like this, man. He was like, You know, Jake, he whoops everybody ass, and then Esau, he whoops the Moabites ass, then the Moabites whoop the Africans. He was just going down the line. He was like, that's what it is. But he was like, Esau can never top Jake's strength and superiority, man. It just can't happen, man, because we are the chosen people. We are the one with the talent. We are the one with the rhythm. We are the one with everything that every human wants to be. Who said that quote, man? Paul Mooney. He was like, yeah, man, everybody loves a nigga, but they don't want to be a nigga. They want to be a nigga. You know, they want it's something like according to that, man. You know, they love being like a nigga, but they don't want to be a nigga. You know what I'm saying? They want to have everything that we have. They want to have all our talents, our looks, you know, our drive, our style, our swag, all of that, man. But they can't get it, man. Remember, brother sent me a video about 2 weeks ago of Esau trying to crip walk, man. And you know, you saw Jake hitting that shit, man. He was going in, you know, and as soon as Esau tried to do it, man, he just looked straight up goofy, man. This looks straight up goofy. Esau can't get down with us, man. All right. But going back to the point in verse 23, it says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right. So this is going to get ready to happen as soon as America is brought down. Esau's going to serve us. All right. He's going to serve us. We are living in the last days, man. Right now, we're under his rulership. But as we see every single day, this place is falling and crumbling, and it's getting worse and worse. And it's not too much longer before this place is completely wiped away. And then it's going to be our turn to rule, man. All right. So let's go to Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 5 and 8. And it says, lead me, O Lord, in thy righteousness because of my enemies. Make thy way straight before my face, for there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue, meaning that they divide with their tongue. And that's what Abraham Lincoln did, man. He didn't want any of us to be with him and his people. He divided with his tongue. He straight up told you. He was like, look, man, I want our people to be in these rulers and these power seats, man. I want our people to make the major decisions. I don't want them getting in office and then we have to talk to them and, you know, coincide with them and give them a chance and listen to their ways of life and listen to their decisions and everything, or their what's the word I'm looking for? Can't come to me, but you know, they didn't want anything to do with us, period, man. He was just like, no, we need to be the superior race, and that's what it's gonna be, man. You know, and it was like that for a long time. I mean, it still is, man. You know, you got Jacob in there now and everything like that, but when you look at the power seats, man, you look at the government and everything like that, man, who's in those seats, man? Who are the faces of the government, man? It's Esau, man. You drive down the street, you see the billboards, you see the signs and everything like that, man. You see Esau's face first, man, before you see Jake. Way before you see Jake. All right. And like it says, man, their throat is an open sepulchre, man. Hey, they're they're known for their bloodshed, man. And they're gonna continue to be known for that. All right. Like I said, man, they don't want anything to do with us. And best believe we don't want anything to do with y'all either, man. Only the Jake that's in the world still wants to have a piece of this pie, this American pie, man. They the only ones that want a piece of this, man. They the ones that want to grow up in this society, be successful, give Esau a handshake and everything like that, and move on, man. You know, man, we ain't about that over here, man. We trying to get up out of here so when we can have our rulership and we can show Esau what it really is, man. All right. Now I want to bring this scripture out because he was like, he don't want us to intermarry, and that's in the law. We're not supposed to do that anyway. This is First Ezra 9 and 7. It says, so Ezra arose up and said unto them, you have transgressed the law in marrying strange wives, thereby to increase the sins of Israel. And now by confessing, give glory unto the Lord power Yahweh of our fathers, and do his will and separate yourselves from the heathen and the land and from the strange women. All right. The strange women, the heathen of the land is any other women that's outside of Israel, man. Our women are not supposed to be intermarrying and mingling with these heathen nations in the first place, man. That's in the law. So Abraham Lincoln, hey, you was dead on point. Yeah, we don't want to intermarry with you either. But hey, I'm gonna say this though, because it is like Elder Malcolm has said in his video right before that clip that I played for you. He legit said that it's disgusting of how our people are today, because it is a lot of Judite women that are laying with these Edomites, with these heathen nations, man, just so they can stay on top and they can find a way to quote unquote escape from these curses that the Most High has put upon them, man. And so they can feel like they have a position here and they feel like they have a purpose, which is still not the case, man. Still not the case, and that's against the law too, man, because, women are not supposed to be above men. But now you have Kamala Harris, she's a vice president right now and everything like that. And Apostle Tahar said it one of his past videos last week. He was like, man, if Joe Biden dropped dead, she's next, man. She will be president. Because Joe Biden old as hell. That dude about to be 80 years old. I think in like 3 years. I think he's 77 years old, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So, but at the end of the day, we're not supposed to intermarry with these other nations in the first place. All right. So now let's go to Obadiah. Go to Obadiah because I want to get this. Obadiah 11 and 12. And it says, in the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Hey, man, back then, those were days of distress, man. Those are the days where we were still under slavery. We were still separated from them a lot more than what it is now. You had the different fountains and different things that Judah couldn't do. The southern kingdom, I should say, couldn't be at. Sit in the back of the bus, all of those things, man. Hey, back then we were still at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much Abraham Lincoln, yeah, he was speaking proudly in that quote, man. He was realizing who they were back then. He was like, man, look, he knew in the back of his mind. He like, man, we got the Most High's children, man. He knew what was going on, man. And he was like, man, and look at us. We ruling over them. He pretty much is like, man, why would we get their help? Or why would we try to intermarry with them or try to be friends with them? You're like, hey, man, we the ones that got y'all in slavery right now. We the ones who got them in this position that they're living in right now. And they despise us too, man. He despises us, man. Abraham Lincoln didn't care anything about you Israelites at all. So he was speaking proudly, man. He was like, hey, man, look, I ain't got time to deal with this, man. I'm going to let y'all know exactly what it is straight up. And he did. And like I say, man, this is one thing that you always got to remember. It will continue to be like this until Esau goes down, man. I mean, you see a lot of, you don't even have to go to famous presidents or celebrities or people in office and everything like that to hear these type of things, man. You could just go to a regular Edomite and they'll tell you how it is right now. They'll tell you straight to your face. If it's one of those super proud ones, they'll tell you right to your face, like, yeah, man, we don't want nothing to do with you. Go back to your neighborhoods and everything like that. Just like what they did when Hurricane Katrina hit. And when Jake was trying to move to safety and he realized they was going into other neighborhoods, it was Edomites greeting them with shotguns, man, telling them like, no, you can't come here. See, when shit hit the fan, like Muhammad Ali say, man, these are nothing but snakes, man. He was like, he like, okay, You could be in a room with one snake. That's cool. Snake might not do nothing to you. That's what I was saying earlier with you chilling with certain Edomites or whatever, going out to eat, having fun. You're like, oh, okay, cool. It's like, yeah, you might feel okay with one snake in a room, but as soon as a room full of snakes, how would you feel then? You ain't gonna feel safe. You're gonna feel threatened. You're gonna feel in danger. All right. And that's what it's gonna continue to be, man. And that's what it is. That's why we be like, look, man, we ain't got time to be dealing with these people, man. The Lord hates them. The Lord doesn't care anything about them, man. And the Lord is getting ready to show his hatred toward these Edomites, man. So we're going to end it with this, man. Let's go to Job. Let's go to Job. Job 30. Job 31. And it says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Yeah, whereunto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes, and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men, that cry after them as a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. This is letting you know where Esau came from, man, who they really were. They were the original cavemen. All right. Then it says, among the bushes, they brayed, they grunted. This is who Esau is, man. That's why it's amazing when you see the way that they are now, because they have so much wisdom as far as technology and as far as a lot of the things of this world, man, because the Most High put this spirit on them. And that's showing you how spectacular the Most High is, man. It shows you how terrific, magnificent Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is, because he can have a caveman come and be in the position that they are in right now, man. That's why this is another reason why you should believe that we are going to come from this fucked up position of being at the bottom, and we are going to receive these great things, which are the promises of these scriptures, man. The promises are given to the Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. Then it says to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And this is hold on, let me get that quote again real quick, because it said they were base men. They were base men, and right here it says, inasmuch as they cannot so live, while they do remain together, there must be a position of superior and inferior. They are the inferior, man, because just like it says right here, they were children of fools. Yeah, children of base men, meaning basic, man, meaning the lowest of the low, man. They were viler than the earth. Then he read verse 9. It says, and now am I their song. Yeah, I am their byword. Look at that, man. They sing songs about you. They got cartoons, with the big lips and everything like that. You look up Sarah Bartman. Look up the history of her, man. You look at all of these things, man. This is exactly how they look at you. They look at you now as the fools, as base men and women, when it actually in actual reality they are. And now it says, and now am I their song? Yeah, I am their byword. Why would it say that? Because we were the ones in rulership. We should be the ones in rulership. The only reason we're not in rulership right now is because we went off against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. But we are the chosen people. Just think about that, man. The top of the top people are now ruled by the lowest of the low of people, man. And now I am their byword. What's that? You are a nigga. You are a spick. Wetback. Redskin. All of these things, man. This is what they are, man. And they push this in front of you. They push this in front of you, man. All right. Verse 10, they abhor me. They flee far from me and spare not to spit in my face. Did not Abraham Lincoln say that he didn't want anything to do with us? He didn't want us to be in office. He didn't want us to vote. He didn't want us to have any type of say-so in anything, man. So ain't that fleeing from us? Hey, man, get away from us, you nigger. You see what I'm saying? They abhor me. They hate me. And spare not to spit in my face. They spare not to disrespect you. They don't care, man. They will not hold it back. They'll give you the rated R content of what they really think about you and what they really want to do to you at all times, man. All times. This is what it is. This is what we live at. This is our reality. All right. Just because, you know, oh, well, that's Abraham Lincoln. He ain't even living no more. Hey, man, the scriptures speak about reincarnation, man, regeneration. You come back, man. Those men, those women, they come back. You are your forefathers, man. You are benefiting off of the blood, rape, robbery, and murder of these Israelites. So it's nothing you can get away with, man. It's no excuse. You know, I ain't never seen a whole bunch of Edomites say like, oh, man, you know, I'm rich as hell, man. I shouldn't be rich right now. We need to come in a meeting and make sure that we give some of these Negroes and Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Indians some of this money and make sure they live in better conditions because I don't want this blood on my hands. When did that ever happen? When did that happen, man? I've never seen that, man. Never. Man, you go downtown in Chicago. Hey, man, even here in the city that I'm living at, man, you just go to a Starbucks or something. Man, I remember walking down the street to make a delivery. I ain't talking to nobody, man. I'm just gonna walk in the store, make the delivery, get back in my car. See these four proud Edomite women or whatever sitting outside eating and shit. And they over there having a good time. And then soon as I get out the car and take one step toward them, all of them stop speaking. They stop speaking. Every single one of them looking at me as if I'm about to do something to them. And then I'm just like, man, look at this shit, man. And then I walk away. And as soon as I walk up in the store, you could just see them going back to what they was doing and everything. And they probably was talking about me or whatever, man. And then the same thing happened when I walked back. And then my woman, she even said it. She was like, man, you saw what happened? I'm like, yeah, I saw that bullshit. They hate you, man. And that's the reality, man. They hate you and they want to continue to hate you and they want to continue to stay in power until they can't anymore. But that's the thing, man. Esau thinks that he's going to rule forever, but the Most High has a very, very rude awakening for you Edomites out there, man. All right. So I just want to bring that out, man. The water for the elder for mentioning that in the video. Because, hey, man, you know, we always got to remember where we at, man. You know, we could get comfortable at any time. You know, Jake could get comfortable at any time just because he got a certain amount of money and success here. And then he think that he's equal with these heathens, man, with these Edomites, which is not the case. Just because he gave you a little bit of change doesn't mean that he's going to give you the golden plate, man. He gave you exactly what he wanted you to have, some change. All right. So I hope this was edifying, man. So with that, I'm going to say, call Halayim Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, which I learned is true from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing this word to the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Akwat that's listening and learning. And Yahweh Ratazah, I'll be back with another lesson. Keep pushing, Yasharallah. Keep pushing. We almost out of here. Shalom.